If you're shipping high-value products, choosing the wrong transportation mode can cost you far more than the freight bill itself. Many companies automatically choose air freight because it's fast. Others switch to rail because it's cheaper. But what if the transportation cost isn't actually the biggest expense? What about inventory carrying costs, stockouts, delayed sales, insurance, and customer expectations? In this video, we'll compare air freight and rail transport for high-value goods and reveal the true cost factors that many businesses overlook. By the end, you'll understand when air freight makes sense, when rail makes sense, and how to make a smarter shipping decision. Let's get started. First, let's define what we mean by high-value goods. These are products where the value of the cargo is significantly higher than the transportation cost. Examples include electronics, computer components, smartphones, and medical equipment. Also luxury goods, industrial machinery parts, and automotive components. When cargo is valuable, time often becomes just as important as transportation cost. That's why the air versus rail decision deserves careful consideration. Let's start with air freight. Air freight is generally the fastest transportation option available for international shipments. Benefits include speed. Transit times may be measured in days instead of weeks. Lower inventory requirements. Products reach customers faster, reducing the amount of inventory tied up in transit. Better for urgent shipments. When production lines are waiting for parts, speed can be critical. Improved cash flow. Products arrive sooner and can be sold faster. However, there are disadvantages. Higher transportation costs. Air freight can cost several times more than rail transport. Capacity constraints. Space can become limited during peak shipping seasons. Weight sensitivity. Heavy cargo can become extremely expensive by air. Now let's look at rail. Rail has become increasingly popular on certain international trade routes as a middle ground. Benefits include lower costs than air freight. Rail often costs significantly less than air transportation. Faster than ocean freight. On many routes, rail offers transit times much shorter than ocean shipping. More predictable costs. Rail rates can sometimes be more stable than air freight rates. However, rail also has limitations. Slower than air freight, transit times are longer. Route limitations. Rail isn't available everywhere. Potential border delays. Cross-border movements can introduce additional complexity. Here's where things get interesting. Many businesses focus only on the freight quote. But transportation cost is just one part of the equation. Let's imagine a shipment worth $500,000. Air freight costs $12,000. Rail transport costs $5,000. At first glance, rail appears to save $7,000. But what if rail adds an extra 2 weeks of transit time? Those 2 weeks could mean delayed sales revenue, higher inventory carrying costs, and potential stock shortages. Suddenly, the cheaper transportation option may not be the cheapest business decision. Air freight is often the better choice when products have very high value. The transportation cost is small compared to the cargo value. Customer deadlines are critical. Late delivery may result in penalties or lost business. Inventory is limited. Companies can't afford stockouts, or production lines depend on parts. In these situations, speed creates value. Rail transport often works best when delivery is important, but not urgent, and cargo values are moderate. If inventory levels are properly managed, rail can offer substantial savings while maintaining reasonable transit times. For many, it's a balance. The most successful companies don't simply ask, which option is cheaper? Instead, they ask about cargo value and urgency. What happens if delivery is delayed? What is the cost of lost sales? The goal is to optimize the total supply chain cost, not just the invoice. To summarize, use this matrix: air for high value, time-critical parts; rail for moderate value, planned shipments where costs matter more than days. Let's recap. Air freight offers maximum speed, faster cash flow, and reduced inventory exposure, but with higher costs. Rail offers lower costs and faster transit than ocean, but requires more planning and longer transit times. For high-value goods, the best option isn't always the cheapest freight rate. It's the option that creates the greatest overall business value. If you found this video helpful, subscribe for more logistics content. Would you choose air or rail for a $500,000 shipment? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.